First 5 outers, nice to meet you. My name is Mete. I'm Melbourne born, Brooklyn based. I'm here out front of my apartment in Williamsburg. Tina has very kindly invited me to talk to you all guys about my experiences living and working in New York City. She's passed on a few questions via email, and I feel like a really good idea would be just to take you guys out for a walk around the neighborhood and answer a few of the questions. And if you have any questions for me, you probably can't ask me because this is pre-recorded. It's kind of how it works, but my email is right here. You're welcome to shoot me an email and ask any more questions you might have. Alright, let's go for a walk. So let's have a look at this email and see how many of these questions we can answer. Question number 1, what motivated you? What motivated you to go? What motivated me to come to New York City was that it's the creative capital of the world, and I figured that I was eligible for it. Being Aussie, getting the J1 visa is a very easy process in comparison to most other countries, so I figured, why the hell not? I just backpacked around America for 3 months, and once I landed in New York, I had intended to stay for 1 week, ended up being 2, and had a really awesome time and actually saw myself living here for a while, so I figured, you know, I had nothing to lose. What was the first step you took? I went through a company called, geez, I can't even remember. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. But it's basically you have someone who helps you through the process and who helps you through all the paperwork. You go to the consulate and they essentially just do all the paperwork for you. You provide them evidence that you've studied a course from an attributed university, and you're essentially part of the way there. But there's a lot of people who can help you out with the application process. Why did you choose that particular city / country or area to work in? New York just made sense because I found that, you know, Melbourne is such a great city to be creative, and to leave Melbourne and pursue this somewhere else, it would have to be something quite special and very different. And I found that there were already so many similarities between, you know, San Francisco and Melbourne, and, you know, most other US cities vibe-wise. I feel very strange talking to a camera and having people look at you. Next question. How long did you go for? Was this longer or shorter than expected? I'm still here. I've been here about 2.5 years now. I arrived April 2 years ago, so it's been quite a while. Did you need a visa? Was this process difficult? I did need a visa, the J1 visa. The process is not difficult, but it's tedious. You do have to sign a lot of papers. You have to go to a lot of consulate meetings and get a lot of background checks and pull together a lot of documents sort of proving who you are. It's very much more of a legal process than anything. And that visa, the J1, lasts for 1 year. And then after that, if you want to stay for longer, you have a whole bunch of different visa options. What I'm on now is the E3, which essentially means that you have a 2-year contract with an American employer, and you, as long as you work with them for those 2 years, you're pretty set. How long did you save for? Man, how long did I save for? I decided to do this trip after backpacking and spending most of my savings, so it was more, I saved for maybe 5 months, because I came back to Australia after my trip with maybe $1,000 in my pocket. I had to kind of rush into it because I was only eligible for 1 year after graduating for the J1 visa, and at that point it was only maybe a month left until the application eligibility kind of expired. So I managed to put the application in, and I think it was maybe 5 months of saving. I moved home and spent very little money, ate a lot of mum's food, and I managed to get about $4,000 together, and that's kind of enough for maybe the first couple of months, because you gotta remember that you got to pay for your ticket there, you need to pay for the visa. Then if you're going to live somewhere, you're lucky enough to find a room, you'll need to be paying a security deposit, and then the first, say, I think it's the first month's rent, and then you got to eat. So I'd recommend getting maybe 4-5k together before you can very comfortably move here and start the job hunt. Are you in considerable debt? Not financial, but I owe a lot of favors to a few people. There's a few of the questions that kind of relate to the same thing. So it says, did you use connections here to help you when you got there, and did you have the job before you left? If not, how did you go about finding one? To answer this one, it might help to just talk a little bit about how I got the job that I have now. So before I left Melbourne, I sent out maybe 100 postcards with a picture of my artwork on the back, and on the other side a handwritten letter saying, introducing myself, who I am, saying, hi, my name's Mete, I'm on a J1 visa, I'm coming to New York in April, and though I'm seeking work, it would be great to meet you because I greatly admire what you do and would love to know what you think of my portfolio. And out of that, I received 5 responses to that letter, all from top ad and design agencies. Each employer actually had maybe 2 or 3 other employers who were looking for people and who were sort of on the lookout for juniors and interns. And it took me about 30 job interviews, and having that happen to me over and over again, where I would go to one interview and each one of them would say no, but they had 2 or 3 other friends who could help me out. And that's essentially how I got my current job, which is at Saatchi & Saatchi, which is an ad agency in Manhattan. I managed to get a summer internship there 2 years ago, and now I'm still there as a designer and art director. I didn't really have any connections in Melbourne that could help me out with getting a job here. And with all honesty, I don't really think anybody's indebted to help you out. They'll give you advice and they'll help you within their means, but if you ask them for names and for people who are gonna give you work, it's gonna be a bit of a difficult squeeze. People will help you if they want to, and if they can. Most of the time, the only way they can help you is to give you advice. They're not just gonna hand jobs over to you, because keep in mind that they had to fight for what they had as well, and including me. I can only give you a handful of advice, but it really comes down to how much you put in and how much you want it. Did it help you in finding work when you returned? I am yet to return. I don't know, I think it all comes down to experience. Whether or not you work abroad, it's if you're a cool, positive person, you show some talent and hard work, I'm sure everything helps to getting you work and opportunities. How does the Australian design aesthetic translate overseas? Was it distinguishable? What is the Australian design aesthetic? I don't know. I like to think the Aussie design aesthetic is really eclectic, and in a similar way so is New York's, because people from all over the world come here for different opportunities, in the same way as people came to Melbourne, but just on a larger scale. So, my arm's getting tired. I don't know about that question. I don't really think there is an Australian aesthetic. Another question would be to ask if my aesthetic was distinguishable, and if you've seen my work, I do a lot of hand-drawn stuff and lettering and illustration, and no matter how unique your work is, it's always going to fit into a category of people who do something similar. That's just how packed this place is with talented, really great people. So, if you want to set yourself apart from everyone else, I'd say keep experimenting and trying different things, and it's a matter of taste. Someone's someone out there's gonna like it and hopefully pick it up. But you know, at the end of the day, you need to do it for yourself. The practicalities: bank accounts, passport, tax file number. So you need a social security number, which is kind of like your tax file number. When you arrive, you need to open up an American bank account, and with that comes a routing number and an account number. This acts as your BSB and account number, and these will all be instrumental in when you get a job and you know you go through admin and people want to figure out how to put you on the payroll. What was your overall work and travel experience? Would you do it again? Hell yeah, of course I'll do it again. My overall experience has been life-changing. I can't really imagine myself being in this position in terms of the quality of my work and my attitude towards it if I didn't move to New York for a couple of years to see what the scene was like. And I'm so grateful that I did. It's been the most difficult and rewarding thing that I've ever done in my life. What's been the most difficult thing about it would probably be the loneliness to deal with at the beginning, but then you know you experience your lowest lows here in terms of all that, but then you know you achieve things that you never ever saw yourself achieving arriving here. You know, I've worked at one of the biggest ad agencies in the world. I've published a book. I've made so many friends who I feel like I'm gonna have for a very long time, and you know, mum and dad are proud of me. It's been super positive, you know, overall. And I would recommend anyone, if you can do it, if you can make it over, definitely do it. I don't see what you have to lose. You know, we're from a very lucky part of the world where you have the option to come and go as you please, and you know, we have a very flexible passport and a great relationship with the States. I would take full advantage of that. Oh dude, check this out. Do you mind if I shoot this? So this is all hand painted.
Was painted, then it got painted again.
And again.
Painted again. Thanks,
It looks awesome. Now this is being shown to a group of students in Australia, so they're gonna love this.
Oh, cool.
All the best, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Cheers. And the people are so nice, right? For the most part. Definitely grow a backbone when you come here as well. So the big question: do you have to travel to be successful? I don't know. What's success to you? Is success, you know, finding a really cool garage somewhere and opening a cool screen printing studio where you can sell t-shirts to local businesses, you know, and if you can do that in your own hometown, that's fantastic. Then no, you don't have to. Then you don't have to travel to be successful. Do you want a more global, worldwide experience and see different parts of the world and experience what it's like to live somewhere that's completely different to your own home, and you know, see different styles and ways of living? If yes, then you know, yeah, you need to travel to be successful. Now I'm going to walk you to the water here, and you get this beautiful view of Manhattan. You're going to love this. Check it out. It's the Williamsburg Bridge. And here's the city. There it is. And don't go in the water, it's filthy. Alright, first 5 hours. That's my those are my pearls of wisdom, and that's really all I have to give to you guys. If you need to know anything else, again, here's my email. Feel free to ask me anything you like. I'd like to thank the organizers of the first 5 Out team for having me. This has been a really cool opportunity, and I love this town, so it's been a real pleasure to take you guys for a walk around to show you where I live and how I live. And also congrats to the other first 5 out speakers, and I hope you guys are all doing super well in your own right as well, wherever you are. Other than that, that's about it. Hopefully I can come back to Melbourne sometime and see you all face to face. In the meantime, mwah, big love.